Greetings, loyal listeners from across the galaxy. You may recall from our last mission log that our crew, back on the planet Attis, did some selling and shopping before abducting a few desperate desert teens and returning to the warp, where they encountered two ships, one sending out a stress signal, which they stopped to investigate, and once on board, a tough-looking human named Eileen Rapley, while the cat-like Zerhi escaped captivity on the smaller of the two ships. And now, Dungeon to the Stars continues.
Zerhi...
At this point, you could be leaving the pirate ship and entering the larger freighter.
That's what I was going to ask. I mean,
Yeah.
I think she's probably made it that far by now.
Oh,
So,
definitely, yeah.
that's-
You're on board the bigger ship now. You can even close that door behind you if you want to, like, create a barrier between that ship and this one.
Oh, absolutely.
That's as easy as pushing some buttons. Do you have a skill you want to roll for that, or do you just want to try to jam it, just luck style, or what?
I actually have a open-close level 0 spell, so I'm just going to use
You have
that.
no problem operating doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, Queen of Doors. For some reason, doors just listen to you.
I basically gesture with my hand and point this, like, very ornate, like, claw-shaped ring that goes up my entire ring finger at the door, and it just closes.
Or for some reason, the electronics in the door are like, they just listen.
It's like just walking into Milo.
It's that easy.
Muttering about what an upgrade this
Yeah,
is.
you're way safer
going,
now.
Like going from economy into, upper class. at
You
this
went
point.
from like seconds until you died to at least minutes.
Perfect.
So, Nakali, you're still blood hungry, just chewing flesh. I'll let you roll a perception check to see if you pick out anything, but you're still pretty focused on that blood. So if you like,
I know I am. Like,
You're gonna have to think there's more blood somewhere else to care.
I probably,
will save, yeah.
Oh, fuck it. 8 on perception anyway.
You might have heard a noise, but you weren't paying. You still just focus on that
I'm
blood.
more into the
Blood.
current ripping. And
My Dulon continue to fail at firing things, but now, Zhaoshan, you'll see them like flying around. They're definitely maneuvering in this area, but moving in the warp's very weird. They don't seem at all to be concerned with you. They seem to be trying to either take the freighter or fire more beasts. They haven't fired on you at once at all. Now to Argyle. You're now entering the cockpit. You see all these like buttons and lights and flashing things. Like nothing you've ever seen, obviously, because you don't remember seeing anything like this. So to you, it's just another amazing new sight.
March up to the nearest button and press it.
So Argyle walks up and tries to touch a button, but luckily everything on this ship is controlled by Zhaoshan ultimately, unless Zhaoshan's in a state or if it's a person that Zhaoshan might allow. If Tomoko had done it, you might just have let it slide. But Argyle just tried to push a button that he probably shouldn't have pushed. You can handle that however you wish, Zhaoshan. Either let him push the button and something happens, or prevent from what happens from happening and do something about it.
Disable the holographic butterfly console that you're about to press.
It's right when you go for the button disappears, kind of a thing.
Yeah, don't touch that.
Argyle says, affirmative. And then he goes to the nearest button that determined is not that.
You'll go from button to button until you find a button you're allowed to press. Tomoko, you'll be following right behind Argyle, who's pushing random buttons.
The guns are over here.
I'm trying to direct him to her seat. Alright, so
We
you're...
have to help.
Alright, Tomoko's gonna direct you towards a gunner seat. I assume one of the pachinko cannons. Well, there's the guns in front that are lances that are like solid beams.
Well, whichever-
Pachinko cannons probably close to where you are.
Alshon, where do we shoot?
Unfortunately, Argyle can't shoot this turn, but I'll let you direct him to his seat, and Tomoko, if you want to hop into one, and fire away.
Shoot the chaos beast. Focus on the chaos beast, and it'll cover things not to shoot a red overlay and things that are good to go in a green overlay.
Gosh, I was telling you what's okay to shoot and what's not. It's okay to shoot beasts, don't shoot these ships where people we know are aboard, kind of a thing. You can shoot a chaos beast with the pachinko cannon.
Alright.
I'll take one charge from Zhaoshan's crystals.
17?
That's a hit.
Yeah.
1d6 times 6. 18?
18.
That's-
Moko is very excited.
And that's just enough to blow up a chaos beast, just barely.
Wow.
Right after take it to 0, so whoop, it pops.
I've only killed 3 things in my whole life. Zhaoshan, did you see that?
It's Zhaoshan's turn, so Zhaoshan can reply however you want.
There's a motion of congratulations on your husband saying, "You're the best, Tomoko."
Like the solitaire
Yeah.
waterfall card.
You have a high scoreboard of you and all of the other previous wardens and all of your new people, and they all have really high kill counts, and yours has the score of 300 towards the bottom of this long list of kill counts. 300 points.
I'm just very excited to shoot
Yeah.
numbers.
You're definitely on the high scoreboard, but you're at the bottom of the
they're
high
like
scoreboard
entering
now.
in TMK.
Yeah.
I'm really into
Yeah, I'm gonna try to land one myself if there's one close.
Just barely, but there's another one within your range. It's on this ship, but you can sort of swing your lance at it and try to hit it. I got a reflex save, but you're probably still gonna be fine. I rolled my demon dice, and I still only got a 14, which is lower than your dex total, I assume.
Yes.
And that's a full strike.
Right, I did 9 points of damage total.
Times 6.
So that would be 36.
You eviscerate that one. You don't even see that one explode into colors. It just disappears when the beam from your from your lance just wipes it out. It just
The
doesn't.
dot on the radar.
It just no longer exists. Yeah, there's nothing remaining of it. And
Well,
again,
that's-
Can I state of the two ships that are in this docking formation?
yes, perception check to check them out.
I rolled a 22 total.
Yeah, the pirate ship's definitely in more danger than this larger ship. Like I said before, its hull is just not as thick as the conglomerate ship, and there's war beasts on it that are going to probably break through it very soon. The conglomerate ship is definitely in danger, but it'll be a while before the war beasts break through it. They've definitely already disabled it, so you don't think there's a whole lot of crew left on board. There was at some
Well-
point in time, so...
I'm going to keep broadcasting to the freighter then. Please make your way to the intact dock ship for evacuation.
And are we doing sleight of hand, or are you going to maintain the same transmission level as before and assume half of that was blacked out, or do you
Yeah,
roll?
I'll try it again.
Yeah, you can try and see if it comes up better.
Wait,
I got
just
a nine
say
again.
come with me if you
No.
want to leave.
Yeah. So yeah, even less words come through that time. So it's breaking up even more. But you're still trying to transmit. And probably that time was almost all static. It was just like every word was just like a buzz of static. But you're still trying to transmit for sure. And it wouldn't matter because no one's in the cockpit. No one. I mean, Dr. P, you're in the hallway. You might hear it, but it's just like I said, just buzzing over some speakers. You can't make it out. Kess Blix.
I just got there and put on.
Let's say if you're moving at your top speed, I'll let you get to the hatch leading out to the other ship right now if you want. Do you want to have attached one of those 100-foot wires of life support? There are two of them, and Dr. P had one that's now like slowly floating back towards the ship. Would you like to attach the other one?
Yes.
All right, and you've got your suit on, and you leap out of the hole.
Yeah, I leap out of the hole, have my sword, and I like hold it out, and I try to be as straight as possible and spin. So I'm like this little space torpedo wherever he was going.
Roll perform. Try and like angle yourself with the cool force towards the where you're aiming yourself in space. I want you to use your kata. Force yourself towards the opening.
I got a 23.
Oh, super cool. You fly like right towards the door that closed and you're spinning into it and your blade even enters it perfectly and you're like you're trying to spin it open like you would a screw. Like I said, it is like that camera shutter type closing. But you're very small and not very strong. So you're trying to use force and you can't get it open. But your blade has definitely hit it and it's definitely making a creaking sound. So possibly someone inside can hear it. Rapley, roll perception and then do whatever else you wanted.
14.
There's a little noise in the hatch that Dr. P came in. The door he closed behind himself. Probably not anything you would pay that much attention to. You heard it, but I don't know that it would draw your attention.
So I noticed the sound. I think I need to handle the threat that is in front of me before I go pursue it. So I'm gonna keep it in the back of my head, but I'm not gonna react immediately. I figure as bad of a shot that guy is, I'm not really too concerned about him actually hitting me if I roll. I mean, come on. And then
Shots fired.
He was way off.
go ahead and go to remove my helmet, kind of halfway, just to what the hell he wants.
And to that, you have to use both hands, so you're kind of letting your guard down, because you have to, at least for a second,
I'll
not have your
let
gun
my guard
pointed.
down just for
At least long enough to get the helmet off.
yeah.
So once the helmet's off, the gun's pointed back at you, but the helmet did come off. You had a moment of where you could have taken advantage if you wanted to. Dr. P.
Alright, I would, of course, say, I'm Dr. Paracelsus. Take me to your cock.
Always a charmer, that Dr. P.
I'd also throw in reinforcements inbound.
I know I only have a limited time to respond to that, but around the same time that I heard the sound, would
Yeah.
he have...
I mean, the way rounds work is whenever we're all in the same round, this is the same 6 seconds. This is happening while you're doing what you're doing. So this wasn't like you did what you did and then he did what he did. It's like while you're doing what you did, he's doing what he's doing. You just gotta choose first because that's the way the round is. You're all doing this stuff at the same time.
Then I'm not gonna react.
Okay.
Never mind.
Well, fortunately, I would still have the last part of my move. I'm going to try to open the door again after putting my helmet back on.
Oh, so you're gonna put your helmet back on first, and then push a button. Knowledge engineering or disable a device or something again to reopen the door.
25 on knowledge engineering.
Yeah, after closing the door behind you, you know how you figure out the buttons. They're pretty simple. It's not even coded. It's open, close. So yeah, you do that. You open the door to the outside. Immediately, you have your helmet back on, secured. This new person you just met does not. Pressure gets released. Air gets released. Gravity gets released. It's going to be a very intense 6 seconds. But in the meantime, it's Chaos Beast's turn. Chaos Beasts keep doing their Chaos Beast things, but it's not affecting anyone. Right now, there's not enough closer to Zhao Shan to do anything. They seem to be attacking previous enemies and amassing nearby. There are no threat to any of you at the moment, which leads to Zerhi.
Zerhy's running through the new ship. On a run, I get a plus 10 bonus to my.
Oh, you can go real fast then.
Yeah, I'm going
you're on the
real
other
fast.
side of this ship than where the Zalshan is, so you're protected from everything that's going on over there. But you can run through any of these. There's a hallway full of storage area for cargo, and then there's an aft section where there's quarters for crew and the galley And there's weapon stations throughout, and there's a cockpit in the front. You're not very familiar with this ship, but the layout's pretty simple. It's like a long, slender freight ship. You know anything about the universe, you've seen freight ships. So you can have that information I just gave you and run with it.
I want to run in the general direction of where the cockpit would be.
Move that way post-haste. No problem. Nikali.
Yeah.
Well, you're still just Bloodface, right?
Yeah, I'm just
Bloodface.
chilling down. Nobody said shit.
That's what you get for being crazy and really into blood.
Like, it's just wasting all of this money.
You're just like crushing it like grapes, making wine.
Yeah,
You're just like
all
stomping
over,
on the body over and over
chunks,
again.
Just like, the explorer who did the elf dunk shit, like drinking. Yeah, basically that.
You're wringing out the skin on your face. You're wearing their face on your face. You're doing all the weird shit you could do.
Oh,
Well, it's
yeah.
like the elevator shaft in The Shining.
And the weird most fucked up probably the rights of the priest of his own
It's just you're just this for you. This is very holy. You're having a religious experience in the warp right now, even though you're being baptized in blood, if you will. Meanwhile, the Dulon. I rolled a natural one, so the Dulon leave the warp. Dulon are gone. Their time in the warp has expired. Whether they wanted to leave or not, for some reason they did. The Dulon ship has vanished, so you guys just have to deal with the warp beasts. Argyle.
How close standard conglomerate user interface is Pachinko Cannon?
Unfortunately, the Zaoshan is nothing like a conglomerate ship. Like, for you, it'd be like grabbing sticks and stuff. Like, it's literally a plant interface with, like, weird butterfly holograms. It's nothing like what you would have been programmed.
Or is there buttons?
There are buttons, and there's the ability to aim. You could definitely figure out joystick aim. Everything else would be confusing. So you can still roll, it'll just be a -4 if you try to use it.
Okay.
You're not exactly sure what you're doing.
And I want to try press.
Maybe knowledge or a wisdom roll or intelligence roll to see if you can even figure it out or something. I do the basic thing.
So, just out of curiosity, what exactly would negative numbers give?
They would give you a negative, which would make you worse at what you're doing.
No, I mean roll modifier to not negative.
Like you're already one, or like.
God damn.
Oh yeah. Well then that's just already thing. That's like natural one, but worse. I mean, Zaoshan can prevent horrible things from happening, so you're not going to be able to push a button that's going to cause anything bad to happen to anyone but you.
Okay.
So for some reason, you're going to press something that's going to backfire on you. You like pull the seat back too far and you fall out of it. You fall prone. You take 5 falling damage somehow because you fell wrong. You fell like on your neck just right. Yeah. You got back problems now. You fell like right on the spot that hurts. You adjusted the seat wrong. Tomoko.
Hey man, that's productive. It's my turn.
Yeah, it beats just like eating flesh for the whole game.
I'm riding high on my previous shot, so I'm.
Jinko cannon away. That's a miss, unfortunately. But this is the warp. Maybe you thought you were gonna hit it, and then like right at the last moment, like bowling it, like went into the gutter. You know, it's one of those kind of curved,
I missed.
frowny face. It's still fireworks, but it's like sad fireworks.
I mean,
It's still positive reinforcement, but you know, it's like not as positive.
Tomoko, the character, would probably try to help Argyle up after seeing him fall out of his chair.
You leave your seat for your move and like go help him if you fire. That's possible. A courteous warden always makes sure that your fellow crew members are
I
safe
mean,
and
yeah,
secure.
I would see him fall, and obviously, I would probably say out or something because he has fire damage. So I'm going to go help my friend.
All right.
Fill out.
Which will be put Argyle in his seat for next turn, although you'll be out of yours, so I'll allow that. Zaoshan.
Yeah, I'm going to keep firing on things and keep trying to the frigger.
At this point, you have to use Pachinko cannons to fire anything. You're ready to use the charge. Not super far away, but they're just outside of your lance range.
Okay, then can I delay an attack action until one menaces me?
You want to ready a lance when one comes in range, like you did before? Yeah, that's fine. Great defensive move in this situation.
I'm going to keep trying to sleight of hand.
Yeah, try the sleight of hand to communicate.
Fun.
Yeah. This time, nothing comes through, so the speaker's cut out, so whatever sound you guys are hearing in the other ship, all of a sudden cuts out. Cast Blix. You got your sword in the hole using your cool force. You're twisting. You don't think you're strong enough to open it, but then all of a sudden the door just opens. You think you did it. You think you used your cool power to
I
open
think
the
I
door.
did it with my mind.
Dr. P's standing on the other side, but you just like, you float in with your air thing connected.
He can't hear me, but I look at Dr. P and I say, I just my mind.
Well, I can roll a perception.
You can to try to read, or linguistics, something to read lips, that's fine.
Maybe I did that with my mind.
Whoa!
Natural one, I didn't.
Yeah, you can't, you have no idea what Kess is saying. But he floats in. Rapidly, it's your turn now. You don't have a helmet on, and you're gonna die because your head's gonna explode and there's no oxygen unless you close the door or put your helmet on or something to save your own life.
Yeah, gonna just do some really cool super spy moves and put that helmet right back on and make
like
sure
that.
that my supply line is still equipped.
You wanna roll me a reflex save to see how fast you get it back on?
What's that? 21?
Oh, that sounds good. So even before the 6 seconds is up. If not, you wouldn't even be a problem unless you only had a 1 Constitution modifier. But with that speed, you were fine. You got it back on before the door even opened. You still have 6 seconds to do whatever you like with your turn with the helmet on. That little frogman floats in, sort of spinning sideways.
Smiling, really big.
Smiling like really big and holding a sword out.
Very.
Like a little 3. He's like a foot shorter than you are.
And it's like coming towards me?
No, he's like right in front of Dr. P. He came through the hole that Dr. P came in. He's like in between you and Dr. P now.
And I'm 3 feet tall.
Yeah, he's like a very short guy.
The sword is the same, like a little frogman, but with a turtle shell on his back.
Okay. I have no idea what the hell I'm seeing, but I know that I've had enough of aliens today, so I would like to aim at whatever that is.
Alright. You just point your gun and don't fire, though? Just intimidate again?
Yeah, we're gonna go for another intimidate, because I'm not putting up with anyone today. Team.
Someone does have a gun pointed at you, so take that into, consideration in the future.
Snap.
Dr. P, you got your little man, you got your wingman Cass now floating in sideways in between you and your new paramour, so...
Alright, well, I'm going to... I want to close the door, but first I want to attach Kess's lifeline.
I'm a reasonable DM, so I'll let you detach his hose and throw it away. And close the door. You can still have a swift or free action afterwards.
That would be where I take my helmet back off again after the door is closed. I would hold my blaster and hands up and say as loud as possible, and I would say, "We're here to help."
You say that as the Chaos Beasts rage outside, but I roll a natural 1. No Chaos Beast is closer to Zalshan. No Chaos Beast pose any threats to any ships anyone's on this turn. That's just lucky. Zurhi,
One of them eat each other.
you've now run into the cockpit, Zurhi, and as you do, right as you run in, you thought you heard something in the cockpit, like words coming through the speakers, but as soon as you enter the cockpit, it becomes as static. There's still something coming through, but every word is static now, as soon as you got in the cockpit.
I'm gonna try and put out my own mess. Try and hope that whoever or whatever I heard before will respond to me.
Alright, you can do that. Maybe a knowledge engineering, or disabled device, or something else that would apply. The ship says you're running on backup power, so it's not a whole lot going on in the cockpit here.
Alright, I'll go for
dim.
disabled device 21.
Yeah, that's good enough. You can use the communications device with that. Say whatever you like to whoever's nearby.
Hello? Hello? Anybody? Hello? I can't be the only person around here.
Hello, please evacuate from the conglomerate freighter. Rudimentarily docked vessel, Dalshan.
And I will say because of the successful disabled device from Zurhi, that's able to go through, at least for this 6 seconds while this is going on, you pick up that message.
Can I look around the cockpit to see if there's any kind of spacesuit or anything?
There are 4 still hanging up here in the cockpit. They're emergency spacesuits. They're nothing special. They're the ones that, if something was going incredibly wrong, people in the cockpit would put on. So they're not the most fashionable thing, but they would save your life in an oxygenless environment for sure.
Space life jackets.
I'm a little bit upset that they're not very fashionable, but I muttered that I guess this is gonna have to do, and put one on.
The one you put on has about 7 minutes of oxygen in it.
Oh.
That starts now, 6 seconds at a time. Your turn's over to Kali. You're still just blooding it up.
Yeah, I'm like, the Zootopia Predator. Predators go crazy.
Like I said, the Dulons are gone, so Argyle.
So I am now utterly terrified of chair that I'm in.
Even though Tomoko fixed it, she raised the back up and got you seated back in it. Yes, chairs are dangerous. They hurt you. Chairs bad.
It's betrayed me once, therefore it can never be trusted.
It's one of your earliest and most traumatic memories at this point.
But I still want to help out. I am going to grab a hold of sticks with my feet, and I'm going to try and fly and manipulate them while flying.
Alright, roll me a fly check.
You don't want to sit down. That would be, you can hover.
You hover flying. I mean, it's not great, but you're flapping your wings. You're moving around the cockpit. It's not a great big space to move around in. Your butt's out of the chair. You're waggling a joystick, so the aiming mechanism is moving around. You see the crosshairs on the hologram moving around, but you don't fire. Tomoko.
Wow, what are you doing?
Well, if you're back in your seat, you can still fire.
I was like this, friend, and then I'll try to shoot again.
Oh! Because that was a natural 20, roll me Perception, Argyle, to watch Tomoko give you a demonstration on how to use the gun. See if you saw her do it. That might inform your next turn better.
The -4, I got an 8.
8. You didn't see Tomoko do that then. You were too busy flying around.
So my damage, 2.
6, 12. Even though Zalshan got the perfect hit, this is the warp, and all kinds of crazy things happen. but doesn't kill it. Definitely damages it some. As far as you could tell from a war beast, which all it does is like it's like shooting pudding. So something happens to it, but it doesn't die.
Zalshan, I hit him.
Definitely for as good of a hit it was, it did less damage than you thought it should have, but it still was a good hit. Zalshan.
There's lots of extra fireworks that say perfect shot.
Yeah.
Yay!
Your score goes up to 400 on the board. You're still your place didn't go up. You're still like way towards the bottom, but instead of 300 now, it's 400 points.
Yeah, no, I guess I'm just delaying my action.
Okay.
Until,
Tomoka wants to do something first anyway, just in case. What do you want to do?
Well, yes, so can my move and swift be to go back to Argyle and try to, like, push him down into his chair to make him sit?
Try to. Oh yeah, I'll allow that. You go to like.
Maybe that's why he wasn't able to, like, grasp what I was doing.
Tomoko fires. Argyle doesn't pay attention to you firing and doing a good job, but immediately after you fire, you like hop out of your seat and try to help him out. Kess Blix.
So I'm not floating in space. I'm inside.
He closed the door. Once you close the door, the gravity and everything like returns to normal. The ship.
Okay, so I can take off my mask.
Yeah, you wouldn't die from taking it off. Yeah.
You saw me take mine off.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I take off my mask, and then I say, so I was asleep for a very long time, and then I had a dream that I was a moth, and I was flying through space, and then a dragon came by and shot fire breath at me and killed me. Then I woke up, and then I was flying through space again, but it was for real this time, and I saw you, and who is it?
Yeah, very interesting. She's pointing a gun at us. So let's worry about the space moths and dragons until we can resolve this. But good to know. Thank you.
Well, I guess I still have my sword, so I guess I just stand in like a defensive stance, like ready, white.
Yeah, I'll assume because of your cool nature, you're able to land all of that and make it look cool. And then back to Rapley.
Can I do a guess a sense motive check on these guys again?
Yeah, especially because there's a new guy. I mean, you kind of already sense the other guy's motive. You can check this guy out too, though.
20, unnatural.
This guy seems way more dangerous than the other guy. The first guy that came in that tried to flirt with you and missed that shot, you think you could take him in a fight, no problem. This guy that just came in, he's got a sword drawn. He's a short guy, but this guy looks like he could fight, for sure. He seems, out of the two, even though he's a smaller guy, seems like probably the more formidable foe. Although, because you rolled very high, he also seems very cool.
Okay, got it. Noted. Alright, so I obviously assess that I am going to be outnumbered here, and that's not good. Am I able to hear their communication that just went on in that previous little exchange back there, or no?
Perception check. You have a helmet on, so it might be muffled, but with a high enough perception check, probably.
It's gonna be a 7, so...
You couldn't make out anything that was said until you take off your helmet.
Okay, and I'm not making that mistake again. I don't know, I guess I'm gonna reserve my turn, I guess, because I don't know what else to do. I don't want to just initiate.
I assume you still have your gun drawn and pointed?
Yeah.
Do you want to have like a ready action, like a if then, like fire if this happens type of statement?
That sounds good. Basically, if
Alright.
you start coming at
Anyone
me,
makes a
then-
move, you fire. Alright, so you're ready to fire if anything happens. And you guys can probably see that. Like, you got a finger on the trigger, and if you guys make any sudden movements, you might get shot. Dr. P.
Well, then I am going to have to use rudimentary sign language in this case. I'm going to use my fingers, my gloved hands, and do the walking with my two, my forefinger and middle finger. And then I'm going to use the one end of my hose and place it towards my groin. I'm going to point to my cock, wave around a little bit, and then to my armpit. Cock, pit, walk, cockpit.
Roll me, well, because it's confusing, possibly. Rapley, roll me linguistics to try to decode that message. Linguistics for charades. It's like cock arm? Like big cock arm? I don't know.
Dude's got a dick like a...
I'm not upset.
I wanna fuck your armpit. Like, you don't know what he said. 5. Okay, so not great. You're not able to. It's definitely as confusing as you said it was originally. And that's probably exactly what you think he's saying. You think this guy's making some sort of like weird cock brag in space.
So I'm going to use the rest of the turn.
You've dealt with some pirates before. This is kind of like what you've known to expect from pirates.
Is there like a side corridor that I can start making my way down, or do I have to go past her to get towards where I would assume the cockpit is?
You have to get past her to get to the cockpit. You can go behind her to get to the other part of the ship, but
I would use my move action, press myself up against the wall, and try to slide past her.
Hands up?
Look past her up, and my hose in my other hand.
maybe roll diplomacy to get by while this lady has a gun drawn at you.
I don't have diplomacy, but yeah. Nope, that's gonna be a 3.
Alright, so creepy guy's trying to walk past you there, Rapley. Rapley. Creepy guy's trying to walk past you, Rapley.
Ready in action? She's supposed to shoot at me if she wants to, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you lunged. You're moving by. Oh, and you have to shoot now, Rapley. Yeah, Rapley, you shoot the creepy guy. He did move.
Being honest here.
And is that, you have a real laser, right? You're a human. Oh, that's versus touch AC then.
Oh shit, she's a gunslinger.
15? 15 beats your touch AC there, Dr. P?
Yes, it does.
That's gonna cut through your armor there, laser blast style.
I rolled 5.
So exactly enough damage that it probably fucks up your suit. Now you have a hole in your suit, but it doesn't hurt you at all there, Dr. P. Your suit has a hole in it now, so you probably need to patch that or something before you go outside, or you might have some trouble with your spacesuit. So that's Zerhi.
Zerhi leaves the cockpit and is running towards what she perceives as, like, noises.
You came in
possibly-
the cockpit has 2 doors, and you came in one door, there's one other door out. You can explore, no problem. Roll perception check when you go out that second door, which just opens for you when you wave your hand, of course.
Ah, not one.
You're probably too busy opening the door, so you don't even notice what's going on when you open the door, but you are now in the same hallway as Dr. P, Rapley, and Kesblix, but you don't notice them as you exit. Nikali, you're still eating body.
Yep.
There's gonna be nothing left of this guy. There's just
Nobody
gonna be
said shit.
Argyle Gargyle.
Okay, so I'm trying to think logically through what he would do without watching. How tall is the ramp?
Zalshan, what would you say? The cockpit's probably like 30 foot tall from floor to ceiling, I would assume, somewhere in that range?
Yeah. It would be vaulted for Shinkalhorn.
Fly up the roof, try to cling there.
Alright, roll me a fly check and then a climb check. Smoko's, of course, trying to pull you down while you do this.
And I don't understand how that's
24, fly check, a natural 1.
Fall back to the ground.
That means you're gonna fly up and then fall down. Roll 3d6 damage on yourself.
Oh my god.
13.
Take it. Does that put you below 0? Oh, you're fine then. You're not dead. Not even passed out. You're probably just bruised a lot. We'll say that was like a belly flop onto the floor of the ship. Like you flew up and then like went straight down onto your belly. So it was unpleasant. You got red belly now. And that... Tomoko, you witnessed that. He was in the seat, then he went up and went right back down. You couldn't... You're in between the 2 Chico cannon seats now, but he's now on the floor. I mean, you have a pretty, like I said, vaulted ceiling in your cockpit here. You definitely fell 30 feet onto his chest, and that would hurt as much as it would hurt anyone to fall 30 feet onto your chest.
I will probably
Onto a floor.
want to heal him.
That's fine. There's not a whole lot of Chaos Beasts threatening you currently, so you cast a heal spell on him. Use your nature magic.
4 plus 2, 6.
6 HP back to you there, Argyle. She does like a Mr. Miyagi, like wax on, wax off thing, and you get 6 HP back just from the natural healing powers of the Shin Kalharan. I'll allow you to use the rest of your move to hop back into your seat. So you can fire, but you can do that in your seat. You can choose one or the other. Yeah, you're used to Argyle's antics. You probably think he's just goofing off.
You're so wacky.
He's always doing random stuff like this.
Never.
Zalshan.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast a healing spell on Argyle as well. Cure light wounds.
Usually it's easier for your med bay, but you have the ability to shoot rays from anywhere in your ship, so you shoot down some healing magic the same as Smoko's. Go for it.
Yeah, he's healed for 10 damage.
Healthy. You're probably feeling a lot better now, Argyle. Almost like you didn't fall 30 feet from the ceiling onto the ground.
I think I'm almost back up to full health.
Zalshan says to, it performs a hologram in Argyle shape. Says to him, please do not do that again.
You'll remember that, 'cause that's a new memory, so you've learned that lesson, don't worry. Kesblix.
Okay, well, because I'm an honorable warrior, and also I'm confident that if this life form is disarmed from this blaster, that I could easily destroy it, I will use my sword to swipe only at the gun.
Would you like to CMB disarm? Either that or sleight of hand.
Oh, yeah, that's over 20.
Which I assume is higher than your CMD, Eileen?
Yes, it is higher.
22.
This frogman's gonna knock the gun out of your hand after you fire on his friend.
Since I successfully unarmed this person, I'm gonna be in between them and Dr. P, my blade ready to swipe again, and I'm going to say, wanna live, come with us, wanna die, you can stay here. And then I'm gonna start walking backwards.
Sort of towards Dr. P. Alright. Then Rapley, it's your turn after all that happens. So take that. Your gun's on the ground next to you. The frogman's in between you and Dr. P, and Dr. P sort of like moving his way towards the cockpit.
I'm not really in a position where I can do much since my ranged weapon is gone.
The weapon's on the ground. You could use your move to pick it up and fire if you really wanted to. But after just being disarmed, I don't know if you think that's wise.
At the end of the day, I think I would get my ass handed to me. I'm gonna take the L on this one, and I'm gonna like back up, but I'm gonna be like about it, like slightly move, and just still kind of like glare at them.
Would you like to let them pass and still pick up your gun and maybe either holster it or just not point it at them?
Yeah, I mean, like I definitely want to pick up my weapon, put it away, or I'll just hold it low so they don't think I'm trying to attack them or something.
Alright, you guys move past. Dr. P, you keep moving towards the cockpit.
I still have to worry about getting shot in the back.
Well, Kess is between the two of you, and he seems to be like, he's probably got your back.
Yeah, but I'm going to motion, this way, and hopefully Kess and my new potential lover or adversary would get the hint. And I'm going to start booking it down the hallway towards. I'm going to roll perception check.
Yeah.
If I see the person.
As you guys head in the cockpit, please roll perception check to see if you see who's at the end of the hallway. Now that you're moving in that
I got
direction.
a 19.
You see a cat-like alien figure, smaller than Nikali, at the end of the hallway.
I'm not going to run. I will approach and say, "Here, help."
Like I said, Chaos Beast don't interfere with you guys this turn. Zurhi, a strange man has approached you. Behind him is a frog person. Behind that is one of the pirates that had you captured.
This is a mighty strange entourage you've got here, but it took you long enough. Just goes charging right past him to the exit.
Alright, so as you guys run towards the cockpit, this strange catful creature pushes past you the other direction.
I would like to try to grab this person and be like, "We're in this together." I can't really respond, but I can try to.
You can roll a CMB for attack of opportunity to try to grab as they pass.
And then also say, "Come with us." Whatever.
Yeah, you can slurp and say all that stuff.
I got a 12. That's probably not going to be
Yeah,
hers.
not very convincing. So you definitely want to go the other direction, but some like slurpy, slobbery, wheezing guy is trying to get you to go back the direction you just came from, and you know this isn't a safe place to be. He wants you to go one direction, you want to go the other direction. He's not really grabbing you with any sort of force that's going to stop you, so it's kind of still your life, Zurhi.
I maybe also say you won't get on my ship without one of us present.
Intimidate or diplomacy or something, or to...
Dip low on that, I guess. Nah, it's a 4. Give 0 fucks.
She just throws her hands up in the air and says, "Fine, whatever gets me out of here the soonest."
Alright, so you'll follow them?
Yes.
Alright, so you go back the other direction and back towards the cockpit.
Entire time, like non-stop, just bitching because she does not want to be here anymore.
Nakala, you continue your blood feast on board the Zaoshan.
Determined that Terra is my enemy, Seelig is my enemy, so I am going to run away, crawl, because I'm terrified.
So you want to like try to crawl out of the cockpit back towards the hallway? You just want to
Yes,
like this room is dangerous. You want to go back to a safer room. All right, so
The floor's done the most damage to you.
that's very true. So Argyle starts to climb away. As you've already bounced back into your seat there, Tomoko. So you can witness Argyle crawling away if you want, but
In my experience, monsters that are near us tend to come and attack us, and I would like to help that not happen.
that's low.
4.
So it could just be like you fire and the laser goes off another different. They're just too far
Maybe I'm
away.
distracted by
Yeah, 'cause you are looking
Argyle
at
soon.
Argyle.
So can I call out to Argyle? Argyle, where are you going?
I will say, that room hates me, and I want to go somewhere that doesn't hate me.
I don't even know if you'd read anything into that. That's just normal Argyle talk as far as I'm concerned. Zalshan, you'll witness all this, of course.
Yeah, I'm going to lock the cockpit. None of my body anymore, Giles. Please return to your chair and begin firing.
Alright, so Argyle, as you crawl towards the door slams shut, and it won't open for you. So you can't leave this mean room that hates you, and now the room is talking to you.
So, quest frying is a free action?
Yeah, crying is a free action. Yeah. Meanwhile, Kess Blix, you're the barrier, you're the wingman. The only thing coming between him and a kiss are getting kicked in the nuts.
I've put my sword in its holder, but holding the handle still, and I'm running with Dr. P.
So you guys move ahead. You're no longer facing the person you've only sort of
I
met.
left their fate in their own hands.
You're still in between them, but you're not trying to look menacing.
Yes, they can follow or not. I'm not looking back. I'm running with Dr.
Alright, you guys head towards the cockpit. Rapidly, you'll see all that.
I mean, there's got to be something interesting going on in the cockpit, right? I need to know what it is that they're going after, but I also want to put some distance between us, so I'm just going to kind of sneak behind
You
them.
want to follow at a safe distance. You want to, like, tail them.
Yeah.
You want to give yourself, like, 30 feet? More? Less?
Let's call it 35.
Unless they want to run and risk attacks of opportunity, they can't fuck with you. Dr. P, you're leading the way. You're in front, apparently. You can reach the door this turn, and, there's another person there, of course. It's cat person and stuff that you've now encountered.
Can I roll perception of the cockpit?
You can look through the door. It's open.
I got a 22.
With that, and using your basic engineering knowledge, this ship is definitely running on backup power. Doesn't see a whole lot you can do from the cockpit. It's on backup power. It's just like showing you stats.
It's a freighter. Can I still look up the ship's manifest? And
Oh,
when
for
I
sure.
See the spare space.
Yes,
that I need
all of that
to
information is still available.
That's exactly what I'm looking for here.
Yeah, you can find all that. Right away, you can see three more suits here in the cockpit with temporary air supply. Anything else will be spread out throughout the ship. You can see a manifest of all the cargo, a manifest of all the crew, although all the crew seem to be redlined, like marked out, like everyone in the crew is dead. The ship seems to be keeping tabs on it, and they don't seem to be any living members of the crew on the manifest.
I'll use my free action to look over my shoulder and say, "Contact Zalshan." And mostly towards Cass, but hopefully everyone else would hear me as well.
It's just Kess and Rapley back there, so for the sake of contacting Zalshan.
At least now that I wanted everyone to know that
Yeah.
we're trying to contact our ship.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure anyone in the area heard that. Yeah, everyone heard you say that.
I can't get into the cockpit, so I can't put on a new suit, and I can't try to access the ship's manifest, so I'm going to hold off till my medic's turn, I suppose.
Chaos beasts move closer and multiply, so you guys are more in danger than ever, especially Zalshan. You guys probably, inside the freighter, you guys can't see them. Zalshan, outside. They're increasing in number and getting closer, as they always do. If you're not moving, you're in danger, and you guys have been stationary for a while in the warp. Zirhi,
Zergy's incredibly impatient at this point.
they're going the wrong direction, too, as far as you're concerned.
Right. I went ahead and followed him back to the cockpit because, curiosity killed the cat and all that shit, so naturally I was going to follow him. Assumed that I can, ascertain that, Zalshan must be the other ship, when he said contact Zalshan.
You're all humanoid enough that if you have the mental capacity to figure stuff out, unless your character has below 10 intelligence, we can assume you're human enough to understand context.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Rafe just pointed out that Zalshan did identify herself to me when I spoke to her.
The message was sort of garbled at that point, but I think you've been able to put it together, for sure.
Yeah. So, Zerhi says out loud, I've already spoke to Zalshan or whatever once. What more do you want? Tries to contact anyway.
Sleight of hand, I think is the better one, but disable device also works. Sleight of hand's for hacking. Disable device makes things not work. Sleight of hand makes things work that shouldn't work.
They're both the same.
Yeah.
It's a 14.
Yeah, so not great, but you can manipulate the equipment above average. So if you want to run over to the stuff and say whatever you want, you can. You can also convince these guys you've already heard the message when they try to pass. So however you want to play it is fine.
I'll roll on diplomacy and I'll is it a time? I'll tell them I've already spoken.
Yeah, and then if you want to because of your role for doing it, if you want to press the button and contact the ship again, you can easily do it. You have no problem giving a quick message. As long as your message is 6 seconds long, it's fine.
Fine. I've got the 26 on diplomacy.
First off, we're going to do quick introduction all around. I'm Dr. Philippus Areolis Paracelsus, blah, 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 whatever. You can call me Dr. P. This is my buddy Kess, badass ninja, turtle toad, turtle frog, whatever. I'm going to put on this air suit while you guys try to contact our ship, the Zalshan, and let them know that we can use a little reinforcements. But in the meantime, you people that are on the pirate ship and on the freighter, I want to know what's on the freighter, why you want it, what can we do to make this happen, and let's get the fuck out of here.
I'm Kess Blick.
That's all I was going to say. Super cool. Fucking love Kess Blix. No explanation.
Hi, I'm Eileen Rapley.
Obvious human. Looks well-traveled and battle-ready.
I turned to Dr. P and tug on the pants of his leather suit, and I said, "This life form likes you."
I'm Zerhi. Very pleased to meet you.
Very kind, cat-looking person. She's black and white. You guys can communicate with the Zalshan now. You're in the cockpit.
We need to do that. I'm putting on a new spacesuit, and then I also want to check the ship's cargo and what's on board, why the pirates are attacking it.
So you want to take off the suit you had and put on one of the ones with the temporary air supply?
Yeah.
Right, the one you have has a 5-minute air supply, but you can go and put it on. Doesn't look as earthy as the ones from the Zalshan, but
I like them kind of down and dirty.
This one's more plasticky and stuff, which is awesome. Yeah, you guys can grab those. You can read the manifest on the ship. It's all kinds of valuable cargo. There's weapons, there's clothing, there's food. It's a big freighter. It's all kinds of cargo going from one part of the galaxy to another. Like most conglomerate ships, it's full of valuable merchandise. More than you can fit on your ship.
Where the cargo hold is.
They're labeled. They're labeled and numbered and stuff. Yeah, you could, if you wanted to find a specific type of cargo, you could.
Or I'm going to say, do you guys have any relevant information you want to tell us before I just go marching off blindly to grab these goodies and take them back to our ship? Because it seems like there's a lot of dead people around here, and I don't think...
Knowledge, history, Rapley, and Zerhi.
15.
6.
So, Rapley, one by one, your crewmates have been dying, and you have no idea why. You're on a pirate ship, and all of your crewmates died, and everyone on the ship died. And you're just kind of oblivious to why that happened. You've been on the ship, and it's been happening all around you. You sent out the distress signal because you're in danger, but you don't know what's going on. On the other hand, Zerthi, probably because you're an occultist, more attuned to those kind of things, you were in your prison cell, and you watched one by one as the members of the old crew went crazy, and they were acting different, like something took over their mind, and they were attacked. So I think you probably have a better idea of what happened. People turning against each other, things like that. Like, there was definitely animosity among the crew that was not there before.
I basically reiterate this, but as opposed to saying prison cell, I say sleeping quarters. Very insistent that we be going very fucking swift.
I would say that we should relay that information to the Zalshan and let the crew know that we're going to be returning soon. I still want to go check out the cargo hold. I don't know about you nerds.
I would like to stress once again the importance of leaving swiftly.
Boring. Good luck getting off the ship without me or Kess. Kess wants to escort you. You're more than welcome to. I'm going to the cargo hold.
I can't leave
Can I use
Dr. P
diplomacy
behind.
to try and convince 28 diplomacy?
28. So if we can get shit off this ship before we just bail, it's great that we might have 2 new potential allies, but I need things. I want stuff.
Yeah, and I still only have a regular weapon because I sacrificed my badass weapon that I got to start the game. That one.
And someone else needs to take those 2 air suits, because that's just bonus air. You can unhook the pack and hook it up to your new one. Maybe we just take the pack.
Dark alien force that causes kill one another, though.
If everybody
I
votes,
ain't here. I ain't there, so.
if everybody else votes, I'll leave. But otherwise, I'm pretty dead set. I came over here for a reason. I wanted to investigate the pirates. I think I've met them, so I'm, that scenario being done with. Besides that, I also want to get something else out of this deal. All in favor of leaving? You say yay?
Definitely yay from me.
I want to investigate what's going on my ship. So.
On the pirate ship?
Yeah.
I would like to go to the pirate ship.
Zerti doesn't want to go fucking near that ship.
Pirate ship might be lost cause.
If I'm outnumbered, that's fine. My motivation is getting out of here alive,
Alright, well, if you guys want to maybe figure out a way to set this ship to self-destruct, to destroy whatever terrible thing is on here, and then we can escape. I want to go to the cargo, but if everybody's outvoting me on this,
For safety reasons, it's probably not
I
unwise.
was diplomacy in that idea.
We can go check the cargo.
You already got your way, though.
I mean,
What?
okay, then yeah. I mean,
That
I'm
is
just saying,
Let's go back to your ship then. Is that the general consensus? Go back to Zalshan? Avoid danger?
I vote cargo.
I want to go to the cargo.
It's 2 votes for cargo.
I'm fine to relent.
There's only 2 more votes, so we only need 1 more vote one way or the other, and that'll make or break it.
As a character, Kess would stay with his teammate.
Dr. P says cargo, you say cargo?
Yes.
What are the most valuable items? How about that? And the most mobile?
You can take a lot of guns, you can take a lot of meat, who you sell to, where you sell it. Anything worth a lot of money.
Get food and weapons. Unless you guys can give us some insight into what terrible thing was, is it going to be attracted to food? Should we go closer towards more weapons and armor? And also we can be talking to the Zalshan during this as well, and be like, hey, we're going to go make a grab and then head over real quick, get ready in case shit gets weird.
I can't comment as to what it would be attracted to, because all I know from my perspective of where I was is that I saw everybody turning on each other, going crazy, and then killing each other. That unknown is, again, part of the motivation for wanting to get the hell out of here.
That's not happening yet, so we're going to let you lead the way to the cargo area. Notice if anything was awry.
I mean, there are 2 hallways of cargo area, one on one side of the ship, one on the other. Depends which kind of cargo you guys want to go through.
Go to the one closest to our ship.
You guys go down that side.
Ready action to attack with my crossbow. Yeah, definitely weapons and maybe any sort of reagent, bomb-making things, drugs, stuff.
We'll go to the weapon chamber first.
Yeah, let's do the weapons first.
Your group will follow you. Alright, you guys will open the door. I mean, Zerhi has no problem opening unlocked doors with a wave of a hand.
Dr. P will say, you gotta kiss me.
It's almost as if the doors have motion sensors, and Zerhi just realizes where the motion sensors are. Yeah, you guys can easily find a weapons storage area, no problem. As you guys enter, it's time for the 4 of you, and only the 4 of you, to roll for initiative, unless you alert someone else. I only rolled a 7,
You knew
so
what was coming.
it's not going to be tricky to beat initiative.
What'd you roll?
A 7.
I got 15.
13.
6.
So you guys will enter a room that is dark, while the hallways are dimly lit with everything seems to be on backup power. Even the cockpit, most of the weapons systems were down, the shields were down. It's just you're just running on backup power already. So a lot of things weren't accessible. The doors still work. There were lights in the hallway, but there are no lights in this storage area. So with the light, dark vision or night vision, you can see fine, but if not, low light vision would be hard. Anything less than that, almost impossible to see inside. There are crates full of things inside, but it's dark, and besides the little bit of light bleeding in from the hallway, you can't see inside at all.
My perception to lead us towards a weapon crate and crack it open. Well, I wish I had some kind of light things inside so I could using my dark vision to try to find something that looks like a weapons crate.
Most of the crates in this area seem to be weapons crates, because a lot of crates for food and other items aren't sealed as well. These crates seem to be metallic and they seem to be screwed shut, like you need a key or some sort of machine to open them. They don't open easily.
How big are they?
They're probably at least 7 by 7 by 7 cubes. They're probably too heavy for 2 or 3 of you to carry unless one of you is really strong like Nikali. It would definitely take more than 2, depending on what's inside. But if it's weapons, it's probably going to be heavier than like clothing or food. So yes, it would be difficult to carry.
Can I ask my new provisions to use that magical opening spell on this here box in front of me?
You can, but when they try, because this box is locked, it doesn't work. Yeah, open only works on unlocked items.
Alright, well, can I start to try to dismantle, like, unscrew the hinges?
What we discussed earlier, you don't have tools.
I don't have any
you have no proper. You're not a mechanic. Even though you're a technomancer in training, you don't have tools for some reason. You didn't purchase any kind of kits of tools. You have no way of doing that without procuring some sort of items to unscrew it.
Well, this is already kind of a bust, guys. I'm sorry. Does anybody have any tools?
I have my sword.
So as you guys are discussing what to do in this dark room,
will break it.
Dr. P and Kess, because you guys had higher initiative, roll perception before I do anything.
16.
I got 16.
It's not bad. You guys can see in the dark enough to see there's something moving behind these crates.
Alright, I'll yell, fall back. Make a break for it. Get out of here.
As you guys back out of the room slowly, a cat walks towards you as you guys leave the room. So
Ooh. I want to take that.
it's sort of emaciated. It looks hungry, like a hungry gray cat.
We got a cat full of person with us and someone named Eileen Rapley. You would think they might be attuned towards cats to give us some sort of information. You guys want to weigh in real quick before we bounce out of here?
I have no knowledge of the cat.
I don't know anything about that cat.
Yeah, neither one of you have ever seen this cat before.
Can I sense motive on the cat?
Oh, you may, of course.
22.
Oh yeah, great sense motive. The cat, even though it seems emaciated, has a threatening aura for sure. Definitely the cat, like, you know familiars, you know items that have weird auras. Like, you're definitely sensing a weird aura about that cat. It's not a normal cat. You saw a lot of weird things while you were imprisoned on a ship. You wouldn't trust it, just based on what you saw happen recently in the area around you.
So, are we going to bring it with us? Any input?
I pass on the information. I'm not comfortable with that cat, and
Awesome.
I
Good
definitely
to know.
recommend a really fast withdrawal.
Let's
And
fucking beat it. If she doesn't like that cat, and let's see, and you're a cat person.
Alright, would you guys like to beat feet to another cargo hold, or just beat feet back to your ship?
Well, we have clearly no way to. Well, we can get to the food items. Apparently, they're less secured. We go to a food cargo hold. Casblix, you want to crack open a couple of these food crates using your sword?
Sure, let me do it.
Roll me a strength check just to see if you can pop them open.
That's 16.
Yeah, you can pop some crates open. The storage area you guys enter is refrigerated, so there are both meats and vegetables there if you guys want to load up on them, although these crates are too big for you to carry. Pretty much all you could grab is what you could fit in your backpack. So if you want to grab up to 5 days worth of rations of either meat or produce, you can.
Seeds or grain is what I'm looking to propagate.
I rolled high enough that there is grains, bread-type grains, cereal grains. You can gather some of those if you like, which work both as food and as seed. It was previously frozen, and now probably has about a week of shelf life before you gotta do something with it if you put it in your bag. Anyone that's in the room right now. There doesn't seem to be anything threatening in this room, as far as you guys can tell. No weird cats or other aliens. You guys take food and then dip the fuck out of the ship, or you want to keep raiding?
I'm grabbing 3 pounds of space rice, 3 pounds of meat, and I
That's
don't
fine.
know what to...
Grocery truck they would have here. So
Oh man, where's the booze?
that's also here if you would like to replace some of your weight with booze instead of meat or produce.
Let me get some of that booze. I'm gonna say...
It's a conglomerate ship, so I mean they have anything that would be selling around the galaxy. You are a mixologist, so that totally makes sense.
That's right, that's my profession.
You go cracking open crates specifically looking for space foods. You go find the space foods crates, you crack them open, you load up. Totally okay with that.
Cool. Anybody else want to take anything?
Don't go crazy with
Carry
it.
a pound of grain and a pound of meat, and the meat is just going to be snacks.
You're pretty strong for a little guy. You got that Yoda strength.
That's a heavy load.
All I ask of you guys is to use your imagination properly. If you look at your bag and it's too full of shit, don't put more shit in there. But if you have room for
So
stuff,
let's just say 10 pounds of grain, 10 pounds.
The new recruits, do you guys want to grab any goodies?
Sir, he is more focused on. She reiterates again.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's fucking possible.
We're just like looking around.
All right. Well, then let's hoof it. Head back to the airlock and make our way back to the Zalshan.
You guys want to do a jump? Everybody has backup air supplies except Kess, I believe. You're using your original suit, Kess.
Yeah. I only had
What's your con mod?
2.
Alright, so you have to get back to the ship in 12 seconds or you could die. Zurhi, you got a suit off of another ship that wasn't yours, right?
Correct, I got a suit.
I had one earlier.
Okay, and you have enough minutes on that as well? Only Kess has to worry about dying on the way back to the ship. But it's a short jump. Kess, as long as your acrobatics or fly isn't super low, you guys can make it. You guys can open it. I'll say you guys can open the door just fine. Zalshan can open the door when Zalshan sees you guys coming. So Kess, as long as you don't totally fuck up an acrobatics or fly roll.
Okay, yeah, that's a 14.
Alright, it will be very narrowly. It's not beautiful, but you guys all make it back to the ship, and like the door closes behind you, air regulates. Kess is catching his breath. Everyone is safe back inside the ship. Zurhi and Rapley, you guys are now aboard the Zalshan, a ship unlike any you've ever seen before in your lives. A ship that seems to be made almost entirely of plants. There's a swampy, thick, musky air when you enter, humid, hot. There's plants all around you. Everything seems to be made of like plant and rock and wood material, even though it's a spaceship. You definitely hear weird noises in the distance.
Roaring and crying. It's like flesh ripping.
Definitely unpleasant noises somewhere, but otherwise this ship seems pleasant, and probably almost immediately I assume Zalshan would greet you guys with a hologram. It's not outside of Zalshan's normal behavior.
Yeah, so a hologram of like a 4-foot-tall fox person. It's sort of made out of like, I don't know, luminescent butterflies, sort of like appears out of nowhere. Welcome back, Dr. Paracelsus. How many rescues were you able to obtain?
He'll gesture at the two new members that have joined your crew. A cat folk-like person and a humanoid, which you're not very fond of, but...
The little fox person bows to the cat folk and says, I am Zalshan Zensu, and looks dismissively at the human.
I look back at the hologram and around my surroundings, and I do another very short introduction where this time I'm just like, I nod and I say, Eileen Rapley.
Zurhi does a very elegant bow and introduces herself.
Or akin to what you would expect there, Zalshan. And everyone else aboard your ship that's awake can also meet and greet and get to know each other. We still probably have at least 30 or so rounds in the warp, so you guys have plenty of time to dick around with warp creatures and talking to each other.
Yeah, I'd like to start flying for sure.
Well, hang on. Before we do that, I would go ahead and give you guys a rundown of what happened on the other ship, about how there's a lot of great, sweet booty over there if we decide that we want it. We haven't detached yet, and we have some more kills that we can get from these warp beasts. We're not in significant danger yet. We're trying to get something else out of this, but apparently there's something crazy dangerous on the ship that we should be wary of. So keep that in mind.
And there are warp beasts slowly eating away at the hull of the other ship that you guys might want to raid. You have a limited amount of time to raid it before the warp beasts break through and ruin your chances.
According to these new compatriots, we need to get as far away from this thing as possible, but if they're that scared of it, I say we blow it the fuck up.
The beast will take care of it eventually.
True, the beasts devour everything in the warp that's not warp related.
Well, then I guess we can just fly away then if everybody's so inclined.
You want to disentangle your vines, Zalshan, and fly away?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll roll a flight check. 28.
You fly really well, and at this point in time, the beasts in the warp seem more focused on the larger ships, so they don't even seem to be paying that much attention. Like, they notice you're leaving, but only a small number follow you, and most of them still focus on the pirate ship and the large freighter. So only a small number peel off towards you as you guys head farther down the warp towards your destination.
I guess I unlocked the bridge.
I guess everyone can walk onto the bridge, including all of your confused crew members and such. You do have a couple of weird things going on board that you, Zalshan, might not have noticed until now when things have calmed down again. But Nikali, during the whole battle, never left his room. Argyle's been kind of weird. And you guys are traveling through the warp towards your next destination. Warp beast following behind, steadily increasing in numbers. But unless you guys slow down or stop, you probably have nothing to worry about. Your ship moves pretty fast in the warp.
So we don't need to kill the ones behind us?
You don't need to. You can. You can fire them if you want to, but it's unnecessary. It would be you'd be spending charges because it is ranged weapons. So unless you want to use Kesso Crystal Energy to do that, you could do it for XP, but it's not necessary to escape. Unless you guys stop, they can't catch you. Unless you have a reason to not move.
We can half our speed and clink off some of these things.
How many charges would you like to waste? I can assume you guys will hit them. You just want to maintain a safe distance, like move the same speed as them and pick off a couple?
Yeah. We can spare a whole crystal, so 10 shots.
I rolled low enough that unless you guys want to stop and fight shit, you guys can make it the next 30 rounds through the warp to your destination if you would like.
Yeah, I'd like to materialize a hologram on the bridge. How did you come to be trapped in this situation we found you in?
I was just trying to catch a ride through space. I was in my quarters, and then all of a sudden, all this weird stuff started happening. I had no idea what was going on. Dying one at a time.
Mostly true.
3BAB.
So, I mean, unless you guys want to roll sense motive on that, you can just take that story as it is.
I'll roll some
I have no reason to roll since motive is the same story that you told me earlier, so.
Yeah, Zalshan, you can pay closer attention than anybody else, and maybe you notice there's probably something not being said, but it doesn't seem untrue. It's more like details being left out than this person's just lying about what happened.
Zalshan says, "You don't seem like the pirate type, Zuri."
I'm not. Like I said, I was just trying to catch a ride, and they happened to offer me one.
The hologram turns to Rapley and says, "Is that true?"
Yes, I didn't realize this person was in the ship. I was asleep. I had done overnight watch on the ship, and after my shift, I went to bed. When I woke up, my comrades were dying. I barricaded myself towards the cockpit to have a plan to survive, and then sent out the distress signal, and now we're here.
Would anyone like to roll a sense motive on that?
I rolled a natural 20 to sense motive.
Never mind, I have no idea what my fucking story is, because I don't even know what boat I'm on.
Got a 14 on.
No one knows anything. Zalshan, you'll definitely be more suspect than anyone else. Rapley doesn't seem to be lying. Maybe confused, but not lying.
Zalshan says, "You seem confused, human."
Probably.
Like to roll a field check to analyze.
Good idea.
21 field check?
Yeah, hey, where's the collie? Can we call all hands to the cockpit?
You can. At this point in time, I need Zurhi and Rapley to roll will saves. Find out if you are suffering from warp sickness, after all.
I got an 11.
I got an 18.
That explains why you guys are so confused. I need you both to roll a percentage die.
65.
Zurhi, you have paranoia.
That sounds about right.
For the next 8 days at least, you take a -4 to will saves and charisma skills. You will not accept aid from anyone. You won't accept healing from anyone without a will save. And you think everyone's out to get you. So while you've been welcomed on board this new ship, you suspect everyone, and you doubt them, and you think they're all out to get you. So that'll be a really fun way to be introduced to this new crew. So, Rapley, what did you get for a percentage?
20.
Phobia?
Let's do it.
It's only going to last for a day, so you only have 24 hours to worry about. So after 24 hours, this will wear off. But for the next 24 hours, you're going to be afraid of something. If you see it, or hear it, or smell it, or whatever this item is, you'll be sickened or shaken by it. You'll have an irrational fear of it. You have to do a will save, or be frightened and affected for 1d6 rounds. What item do you think would scare your character the most? Like, what do you think your character's most afraid of? Use your natural phobias.
Because you said commitment.
It could be commitment. That's totally fine. That could be a very reasonable fear.
Shot in the.
Do you want to spend the next 24 hours avoiding commitment? I'm okay with that. That could be very fun. Especially with Dr. P on board.
She's giving me fucking dagger eyes right now.
If anyone tries to lock you into any kind of commitment or promise or a deal, you'll want to back out of it. So no one can. You won't want to agree to do anything for the next 24 hours at least.
Does the collie stop ripping things apart and come to the...
Not unless someone goes and gets him. Unless somebody wants to do an announcement or go like physically get him away from like tearing shit up. He's just in his own little private quarters making a big ass mess.
A hologram there.
He doesn't seem to notice it at all. Whenever you like appear there, he seems like his face is still like nose deep in a butt eating flesh and blood and stuff.
Come on.
Yeah, you an ass eater. Hey, nothing wrong with you an ass dog.
Zalshan want to relay that information, and if watching Nikali eat butt.
Oh, Zalshan does. If Zalshan wants to relay that information, Zalshan can.
No, tries to get me out, and then I'll give you like the
I'll
predator.
clap my hands and say, "Nikali."
Perception check Nikali to see if it can distract you from your blood feast.
16.
You will hear the noise now for a will save to see if you can break away from your obsession. Let's say you only beat a 14 for mania, so you can break away from your blood obsession if you would like to now.
He looks down, like he snaps out of it when he sees the hologram, and he looks down at himself. He looks up, and says, "Well, that was a fucking waste."
Yeah, you didn't realize how like deep you went into that. You just ruined a whole body.
Yeah, I'm like,
That could have been 2 blood sacrifices, and you made it into 1.
I know. I really got so wasteful.
You're covered in blood. Like you're a blue furred animal, but you're now like reddish brown fur all over the whole front of your body.
And then he looks back up the hologram. He's like, "Yes,
You've been involved in whatever this is for about an hour.
I have."
Yes. Would you like to come to the bridge now?
He looks down back at the corpse. He's like, probably a good idea. I should probably get away from.
There's not a whole lot remaining at this point. A couple of fingers or toes, maybe an eyeball. You can join the rest of the crew on the cockpit if you like, and everyone can gather together and
Alright,
goof
so
off.
he's walking through the cockpit door with tall, muscular to the extreme, blue jaguar with neon green eyes, who is just drenched in blood, head to toe.
That's for the benefit of everyone that's never met you before. So yeah, this guy walks in, looks and smells gross. You guys are bailing through the warp.
Who are you?
You introduce yourself to the new members.
Yeah.
There he introduces herself.
Bradley also does.
Sorry for the appearance.
I would say, hey, Nikali, what the shit have you been up to, man? We've been dealing with some stuff.
I
Could've
don't
used
know.
your help.
I have no idea. All I could see was blood. All I wanted, blood.
I'd like to take Nikali to the med bay and do some tests on her to see what is going on with him, perhaps.
Okay.
You go check it
That's
out.
gonna freak me out, too.
The two of you go to the med bay.
On the way past the dormitory, I would tell Zaphod, Beetlebrox, and Spartacus to go and clean up Nikali's room, because clearly there's something going on in there that we don't know what's going on. You know what's up. And
No,
I'll keep Nancy with me as my nurse to help out.
It's horrifying in there.
You can take Nikali to the med bay, but he seems fine physically. Diagnostic Zaoshan runs doesn't come across weird in any way. Big, strong Nikali just doing his bloody
I want to get the blood cleaned up in his room outside of game. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
like,
you can
"There's
clean
something
up.
weird going on there."
You
I'm
can
gonna
if you
test-
want to like wash him off in the med bay and clean up his room. That's fine.
I'm gonna have Zaphod and Spartacus clean the room while Nancy helps me clean off Nikali.
All I would say about Nikali is that because you're obsessed with blood, you're going to be watching Dr. P and Nancy wash blood out of your fur. You can feel about that however you want to feel about that, but there's now people washing blood off of you.
You would be obsessed with looking at the flowing of the blood more than anything, kind of like in a trance. Like there's like a predatory like look in his eyes as he looks at. It's really looking at its fur, but I haven't said it's also looking at your hand.
Do you guys run any other test on Nikali while he's in there?
Try to run a test on the blood that was found as well. I'd try to do some kind of brain scan if we have any that kind of capability if possible.
You can do both those things. His brain seems... I mean, I don't want to say his brain seems fine. His brain seems like a brain. Yeah, there's definitely some weird firing going on in his brain, but nothing you can pinpoint as like any kind of madness or anything. His brain's being weird. And the blood is definitely from whatever creature he devoured in his room. It's not anything strange about it. He's just covered in a blood.
Can I roll a knowledge arcana to see if he's been affected by any sort of will affecting spell or something like that?
Sure.
That's going to be a 27 on arcana.
You stay up late studying Nikali. You start to drift off into sleep, and you know, deep in your mind, you've been to the warp before, and the warp has affected your crew before. You think the warp is affecting Nikali. Before you realize what it is, or 100% what's going on with him, you fall asleep.
Roll against that. And
You can roll a will save. You can roll a will save to try to stay awake.
I want to write down 2 words, if I can, before I drift off into
The better will save you have, the more words you can get down.
No, it's only a 4.
You try to write things down, but it's his scribbles. When you wake up, it won't read anything. And when you fall asleep, you have to roll a will save to see if you do your multiple personalities stuff.
Well, with a natural 1, I'd say, fuck yes.
So you're gonna wake up and not be Dr. P. You're gonna be Mr. Pibb. You're gonna be like... You're gonna be something else. Let's say that your alternate personality is very the opposite of what everything Dr. P is. Anybody else have any moves to make on the ship? We have 2 new members on the ship. You have only seen the cockpit so far. You guys are able to wander around and do whatever you want. Eileen and Zirhi.
As a good host, I would have heard their stories and looked at all the madness that was going on, and I haven't said anything, and I just look at everything transpiring, and then once everything settles down and there's about a minute of awkward silence, I'm like, you want to see where we keep the moon kill?
I want to get high.
I mean, if everyone else is doing it right.
Peer pressure. Alright, you guys hang on the spaceship and just like smoke weed while you fly through the warp. There's warp beasts. They're far enough behind you that you can escape their grasp. And you guys are able to fly through the warp, make friends, smoke some moon kelp together, or a bond as you do in space.
This concludes our transmission. Tune in next time for more Dungeon to the Stars. This episode of Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater was sponsored by our fans and friends on Patreon. Donate today. Keep Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater alive.